I want to talk about one more aspect of your business that, and I'm curious whether it was intentional or not. I imagine it was. But one of the things that's kind of fascinating when I think about Ezra is, so you guys you're focused on cancer screening. The main thing that you're investing in is the software, the AI, the technology that you're using to basically process and, detect cancer and actually be able to figure out what to do. And so by nature of that, you have what a lot of people would call an asset-light business model, just meaning you're not building the real estate from the ground up to have these scanning offices. You don't own the MRI machines, and you're able to take advantage of centers that already have them. So I guess what I'm curious is, was that intentional from day one, and how does that work? I'm guessing it's because there are dedicated service centers that just do imaging, and so you can say, hey, you guys have the MRIs, we can bring the technology and the patients. Talk a little bit about that, because I think it's fascinating.
Yeah, it was a very deliberate decision. We looked at the space and realized that medical imaging is a really competitive, very commoditized, low margin business. In other words, it's not the type of business you want to allocate a lot of capex into and kind of get into if you're not already an established player. In looking at the space, what we also realized is a lot of imaging facilities have remnant inventory. They are not operating at 100% capacity, and therefore we saw a clear opportunity to leverage that. And so the way Ezra works is we partner with the best imaging networks in the country. Our largest partner is RadNet, which is a public company, the largest outpatient medical imaging network in the country. And we buy MRI scanning time from them. We run our protocol and our software and our radiology templates when you go in and get scanned. And then we get all of the images, the reports, and then deliver all of the consumer experience. One thing that is important to note is that in building a lot of software, we didn't actually just focus on the AI part. We've essentially built an end-to-end cancer screening stack. The booking system, the integration with the facilities. We built our own EHR. We built our own report generation system, etc. Because the current healthcare system is not optimized for a great customer experience. Like even booking a mammogram, which should be the easiest thing, to do, and a woman has to call a facility, stay in line, all of that stuff. With Ezra, booking a full body scan, it's as easy as booking an Uber, if not easier. It's like 3 taps and you're done. And so we believe in increasing access and broadening the ability for people to get a scan, not just through making scans faster and creating full bodies and so on, but also by applying our skills to the underlying technology to actually book and manage and reschedule and do all of that stuff. And we're really proud of what we've done.
Well, and it's an important point because all of those things are major inputs into the customer experience, how customers feel going into the appointments, how happy they are having chose Ezra. And again, I think it's another just fascinating example of, I imagine you guys have similar views, but just trying to do anything medically, it just feels like you're in the Stone Ages if you work in technology and use Calendly and use Ubers. You're like, why can't it be this simple?
Absolutely. And here's a crazy stat. There are about 60 million women in the United States who should get a mammogram every year, and only about 40 million are compliant. So you have 20 million women who are not uncompliant with their mammogram screening. I have to believe that part of that is because it's just hard, and they just don't want to, they don't have time to, handle the logistics of doing that.
I mean, we're humans. It's like it's friction. You don't want.
It should be frictionless, and it should be super easy, and you should have all your data in one place, and we need to do better as a health system to get there. And there are many things we're working on at Ezra in order to make all of that stuff better.
Well, and I mean, just to say it even more starkly, if you could choose between having that experience to book a car, which is not that high value, and having that experience and the lack of friction to go and do something that's, like you should absolutely be doing for your own health and wellness, like this should exist in healthcare first and foremost, but unfortunately it doesn't. Have to take it over from consumer.
It's not, but I think we're seeing the early signs of these things being resolved through investments by startups predominantly.